Alright, so I'm back. She's dry and I'm going to work on her face. And the first thing that I like to do is work in the flesh tones. So basically I'm using a light flesh and a medium flesh. And then I found a color that I really like to use to add some of the depth, and that's a cinnamon color. So I'm going to start with the light flesh all over, and then blending with my finger. If you have the Mod Podge down, it will move and give you a little bit of time, and then it dries permanent. And a lot of times I start on the edges and blend out. Now, if you don't like what you have, or it's too dark, you have some time, and you can hit it with a damp finger or a wet baby wipe and pull some of it back. I'm trying to keep my head out of it and keep it in frame. I know I'll have to keep turning it. I'm trying to add some of my lighter areas back in. Now I did notice the last time I did this, the texture of the paper did give me some more of a canvas. I lost almost all that pink in the lip, so I am gonna put this on there and kind of just let it set. And I feel this gives me a little bit more of a painterly. Kind of a little too blue right here, gray, under her nose. So I'm going to blend some of the white. Try to take some of that out. I'm also going to add some more white in at the eye and let it dry. And if I'm not getting what I want, then I just wetten my finger and keep blending to smooth it out. come back in with some more. Alright, so kind of there's the shading in her face. One of the things you have to do with this method is you have to keep cleaning your fingers to make sure that you are not transferring color to another area of your page. I'm going to work on her hair, and I'm just going to add in some lines. Right, and then I'm coming back in with 178 Nougat and just adding some kind of a medium value brown. Does my base coat. And then the last thing I like to use is the raw umber. And that just gives her hair a real kind of a rich glow. And you can sort of see the details in the work close up. And it allows me to kind of join some of these together. Alright, and I am going to use a 169. Be real careful about the hair because I don't want to disturb it. Alright, so that gives me some 3D aspect on that. And I'm probably going to come back in and add some accents with some copper paint. Since I don't have a copper colored marker. If not, I'm happy with the bandana the way it is. If I leave it that way, that's fine. It's time to come in and do some of the work on her eyes and her lips. What I'm going to do is give her some green eyes. I'm going to put in a real light green to start with. I'm going to let that set up. And that was a May green. And I'm going to come back in and put in her eyebrows. And this is the medium brown. It's best just to use kind of a feathery stroke. I'll come back in with the lighter color and add a little. Sometimes I like to pull and try to get an individual hair. But if I don't like it, I can always take my baby wipe and the edge of my nail and kind of pull it back. And I'm going to put a little bit of this color along the eyelid. Kind of give her a natural shadow in the end. And I'm going to add a little green in too. Alright, so now I'm going to come in and add the darker green. Kind of use my finger just to blot and lift. And then I usually, I'm going to add in the black. And let that dry before I try to do any highlights. Now I'm going to come in with a medium black. Sometimes you'll notice kind of a wax buildup. And I just use a piece of paper to get my marker going again. And then I'm going to come back in with the smaller this is where I add liner and darken.